What's going on, everybody? Happy Bachelorette premiere recap. It's Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday? I don't know. But season 1 of Tasha season, we don't really know. But I'll tell you what, did not disappoint. And we break it down.
Gonna be a shit show.
By piece. We have an amazing guest for you today.
So good.
Wonderful, talented actor, producer, Jason Ritter, son of legendary actor John Ritter. But he is a diehard Bachelor fan. He's hysterical, funny. He brought notes.
So good.
Might be my favorite Bachelor recap guest.
100%. I was in tears.
So it'll be a lot to live up to for our future guests. And we've had some great ones. So
amazing.
We put Jason in the Hall of Fame of Bachelor recap people. So I hope you enjoyed as much as we did talking about it. So we look forward to that. Couple house cleaning notes. Obviously, people's choice, people. We certainly hope you've been voting, and if you have been voting, you can vote every day. It means, it really does mean the world to me that you are taking the time to vote and sharing it with your friends. And if you haven't voted, it's takes a few seconds. If you have voted already, it's even easier to vote again. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys win. Honestly. Yeah. Patreon, it's still out there. It'll stay out there, but 13 episodes available now. All the women from my season: Vanessa, Jen Saviano, talking about our relationship on Paradise; Amanda Statton, talking about her relationship with Josh on Paradise. We also recap The Notebook, and we recap How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and give a hysterical breakdown of those movies. So 13 episodes and counting. So if you're looking for some more Bachelor content and just some fun, lighthearted entertainment, that is available to you for a very low price and commercial free of $5 if you want it to be super inexpensive. Come and go as you please. The link is on my social. Go to Patreon, search my name, and thanks for supporting that project. It means a lot, and I promise you, for the people who haven't listened to it, you won't regret it. It's like the most... It will be you've wasted money. It won't even waste money, but I promise you'll love it. So just go do it.
It's pretty good. I give you credit. It's pretty good. It's entertaining.
Yeah, way to not sell it. Cut that out. It's pretty good. It's fine.
It's amazing.
It's fine. You could live without it. It's fucking great. Other than that, tune in tomorrow for an amazing episode with legendary singer-songwriter Richard Marx and his wonderful wife, also legendary host and public figure talent, Daisy Fuentes. They talk about their marriage, relationship, life, love, second chances, having fun, and a great conversation. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. If you are new to this show, or you're only tuning in to get Bachelor content, make sure to check us out on our Ask Nicks on Mondays. We got a great episode for you next week with Kelly Oxford, a guest for Ask Nick, a very talented writer and very funny person and knowledgeable person. We give relationship advice. We're doing a lot of things, people. So thanks for supporting the show, and welcome, subscribe. Fuck, I don't know. Have we covered it? Should we just get to Jason? Great. Jason, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Really excited to have you. We've talked a few times about you coming on the podcast, and it's finally great to have you in.
Thank you very much.
The kicking off Clare is season of the Bachelorette.
Yeah, whatever.
They're being very cryptic about it.
They certainly are. Something happens.
I don't mind it. I'm
into it.
I'm fine. I'm intrigued. You were saying offline that you started watching The Bachelor on Juan Pablo season. So Clare has a special place in your heart.
Clare has a special place in my heart. That was my first sort of introduction to it. I had been, people had tried to get me into it before, and I wasn't that, I don't know, you're taught sometimes as an actor, like reality television is your mortal enemy, and never succumb. And it's just not true. And it's a lot of times super interesting. And there was something about that season that I was like, oh, I didn't realize that it's just like carnage, like emotional, just like people be like, I just don't know if you like me and I'm gonna go, and he'd be like, all right, see ya. I'm like, whoa, holy cow. The whole thing of this show, I think people bring their empathy and their heart to the show, and that's what makes the relationships happen. But if you just look at like the skeleton of the show, it's kind of like you would never be able to do it just like out in the world. It's designed for like a lot of pain and like as humans we work against it, but like it was fascinating to see a person just go, no, that's the rules. Eventually I have to let you go. So okay, you want to go now? Okay, bye. I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. And I really felt for Claire. I'm having become a total addict since then. I've watched her in her various other.
Have you watched all her iterations?
I think, yeah.
Winter Games?
Winter Games. I watched Winter Games.
I did not see Winter Games.
I got totally hooked. It's like if Bachelor put out like we're just sitting around live feed, I probably would.
Did you watch Listen to Your Heart?
Yes, I did watch Listen to Your Heart.
Now we know he's a true stan.
Winter Games and Listen to Your
Heart. And I loved Listen to Your Heart.
It was really good.
It was really good.
It was very well done. Like Winter Games, I think people quarantine were resistant to. People don't like change, and also with quarantine, it was if you weren't streaming, like, it was like I have to watch it at a certain time in a certain place. Like what? No, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was entertaining.
It was really amazing and really incredible musicians on the show. And I was a huge fan.
We started watching The Bachelor the same time because
really
I didn't watch it before I went on, and Andy's season was after Juan Pablo's.
Oh, right, of course.
So Juan Pablo's season was the first season I watched in preparation of going on, being like, well, I was going through the casting process while Juan Pablo's season was on. I ended up buying Desiree's season, which is the season prior.
Oh, right.
Just to be like, all right, well, what's The Bachelorette look like? Because I was watching The Bachelor. Is it different? Is it the same?
Yeah.
We've started.
That's
pretty much,
amazing. We're the same age in Bachelor years.
Yeah, and in life.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. All right, cool.
With 31.
I'm 40.
I know how old you are. Okay. You're honest.
I am. All right, you were giving me that. No, I'm 31. Everybody, I was just kidding.
Thank you.
I'm older than both of you, so whatever.
So thoughts on Claire? Were you excited as she was casted? What was your reaction to Claire in general, and then her being casted as a Bachelorette?
I was excited. I'm as I just revealed, I'm a year older than Claire, and I always thought it was so weird. I mean, I guess in the Bachelor world, it's like people are young and in their 20s and stuff like that. But her age, when it ever was brought up, I was like, what is the problem? I really don't get it. So I was super excited that they were like, let's put her front and center. She's an incredibly sweet person. And I'm so moved by her story. Like her, you find that you're in like a club with people whose fathers have passed away, and you you don't know each other, but then it happens to you, and people are like, hey, you get the password and the handshake and all that kind of stuff. And but you have an immediate connection with someone because not a lot of people know what that's like. And then the story about the DVD that her dad gave her before he passed, and I'm just rooting for her. I want her to be sitting down with the man of her dreams and put that DVD in and then just weep. Just weep and weep and weep.
You know who needs a pair of amazing, comfortable footwear? I think Claire could probably use some Rothy's, if I'm being honest. I have a lot of friends who are wearing Rothy's, right? And they're always so chill. And I feel like Claire could use some Rothy's. Maybe she's just a little tightly wound because, a lot of pressure to be the Bachelorette, right? And heels, I don't know. I can't imagine what it's like to wear uncomfortable footwear that some women seem to wear. But Rothy's, I tell you what, Rothy's are kicking ass in the comfort and style department, as well as the peace of mind that you're helping save the environment because they're using recyclable plastic as opposed to, putting it in landfill. So let's get Claire some Rothy's. In the meantime, get yourself some Rothy's. And anytime you get them dirty, you just throw them right in the old washing machine. They last forever. They last forever. I got them as a gift to a friend of mine like a year ago. They look brand spanking new, and she wears them all the time. Rothy's come in an ever array of changing colors, prints, and patterns. Rothy's are available in a range of styles. Rothy's shoes are seamlessly knit with threads made from plastic water bottles, so they're ultra comfortable as soon as you slip them on. That's right, there is zero break-in period. Vogue calls Rothy's a personal obsession, and Hell says they're the most comfortable shoes on earth. Plus, Rothy's ship free and free returns, but you won't ever really use that because they're amazing. Rothy has kept over 60 million single-use plastic bottles out of landfills and transformed them into signature threads, which is knit into beautiful, sustainable products. They also have bags, right? Bags.
They have bags.
They have bags, if you're into the whole bag thing. And then you can put them in the washing machine. So get your Rothy's now. That's check out all the amazing shoes and bags available right now at rothys.com/VIALL. That's rothys.com, rothys.com/VIALL. Style and sustainability meet to create your new favorites. Head to rothys.com/VIALL today. There is nothing worse in the world than chunky protein. Chunky protein is the worst, but you know what isn't? Bubs. It mixes with anything. I put it into my smoothies, right? I put a lot of vegetables, some orange juice. You don't taste it. You don't even know it's there, but what you are getting is wonderful collagen protein. And for myself, it helps with my joints, and I get those gains in at the same time. Once you hit your mid-20s, sure, collagen product slows. Yeah. So I have none. Signs of aging, I don't age. Lines and wrinkles, I don't know what those are. Decreased mobility and slower recovery. These all stem from less collagen in your body. Well, I take collagen protein. If you want to know my secret, Bubs is it. And if you follow the standard or even the above standard American diet, you probably aren't getting nearly as much collagen in your body as it needs, right? Most importantly, it's not chunky. It mixes so easily. And I tell you what, it's hard to find with good protein. Whole30 approved, NSF certified for sports, keto, paleo friendly, and GMO free. No flavors, fillers, or impurities. Nothing more or less than the best collagen out there. Get 20% off when you use promo code VIALL at bubsnaturals.com. That's 20% off with promo code VIALL at BUBSnaturals, plural.com. And 10% of Bubs Naturals sales go directly to charity, so you'll feel great while doing great things. Yeah, I got to know Claire a little bit. And in people who know her better than I, Claire has been through a lot, and it sounds like, what America knows of her, what she's shared is even just the tip of the iceberg. She's been through. She's persevered through a lot of things that other people are fortunate not to have to deal with. So
yeah, I mean, some of it she was pretty open with, like a relationship right before Juan Pablo season, and
which I don't know, but I feel like it's the first time we've heard about that. Had she talked about that before? I'm not sure, but
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that wasn't in my head when I thought of her that she had been through that. It seemed like new information to me, and that's amazing. And I also, like, last night, I don't know if she's talked about this before, but I loved her thing about, like, just show up. I loved that. I really am moved by that. So I'm, like, fully on board.
All right, we got the Claire stan.
Yeah,
good.
I'm a Claire
stan. You're like going to Jason's house and he's got like crosshairs and like a whole like Claire set.
Glad we had you on before Tasha shows up.
Oh, I love Tasha.
So yeah, we kick it off. Claire, we get the classic intro. She has a sit down with Chris. Claire is kind of amped up emotionally. We get the, I don't know. I was fine with how The Bachelor kind of addressed COVID and quarantine.
Yeah.
They gave us a little you know, kept in the family with George Stephanopoulos, you know, ABC, you know, getting his like, sometimes in movies, you know, where they have like, you know, Wolf Blitzer, you know, gives like, it's the end of the world and the zombies are coming, you know, it's, so yeah, so that was nice. And then we start kicking off the guys. And I got to say, you know, right off the bat, I felt like I noticed a difference with the cast of men being a little older.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems so obvious and simple, but the jobs, like, we got some real jobs. We have a wealth management consultant in Bennett. We have a real estate agent. We have landscape design salesman, IT executive, former pro receiver, anesthesiologist, cybersecurity engineer, I can't even pronounce their jobs. They're so impressive.
Boy band manager?
But boy band. Well, that's boy band manager's back to.
That's true.
You know.
What does that mean?
Are you really boy band manager? In Chicago.
Well, yeah, that's where they all come from.
But yeah, I mean, and so the age range is pretty, you know, it's definitely older, and you seem like you have some guys with life experience, as opposed to in the past couple years, it's gotten younger, and there was like this running joke of like just a bunch of guys who don't like independent job person, you know, or like entrepreneur, or you know, like, you know, 7 personal trainers.
They're like padding of the like how you describe that you're sitting at home.
Yeah. So, and I think that's great. I mean, it's fun to see. I'm curious how that will unfold with the guys. Did you have any favorites right off the bat?
I did have a couple favorites. Let's see. This helps with the pictures. I mean, I liked Dale just like Claire did. She seemed to really. I mean, that was intense.
I mean, should we just get to that right off the bat? Do you think that was since?
There's rumors, right?
There's the rumors, but I don't know if they're necessarily based on any facts. The rumors are, you know, it's kind of one of those like the most simplest explanation is probably true. Like, you know,
that they met before or something.
They started filming. They released the guys, you know, because what they started doing a few seasons ago as a result of like, you know, these, you know, they'd cast these guys, and then it was always like 1 or 2 guys that had a questionable past that, you know, the Bachelor does these background checks, but, you know, I guess it's not as thorough as they could be or should be. And in fairness to them, there's so many guys, things fall through the cracks. So what they started doing is releasing them early, so that if, you know, things come up and then people would reach out, be like, hey, Jeff's an asshole. They could decide to like, it was for that reason. And then they also, there's a buzz that gets going.
Right.
So it was kind of, you know, 2 benefits. So they release the men, COVID hits, and then they have to shut down. So unlike any other season, Claire had the luxury of seeing all these guys.
Wow. Oh, I never even thought of that.
Who might be her guy. No, I think they made some changes.
And a lot of time to peruse.
Like, yeah, right?
How are you not going to look at the people
it was listen to your heart, or, you know, slide into Claire's DMs. And so, yeah, the obvious thought was, you know, did Claire to talk any other guys? Now, what's his name admitted to?
Jason,
which the conspiracy theorist in me thinks that Claire is smart enough to
be like, you were the only one.
You're the only one, but also, you know what? I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked that you did that. I'm going to tell America that it's okay to break the rules when it comes to love.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But no one else did it.
That was the only one. Yeah. I mean, that was an interesting moment. Or no, who was it? It was Blake. It was Blake Moynes.
Yeah.
Who texted. I got them. Right? Is that right? He was the one who checked in on her?
Let's
Wildlife manager. He has the big beard.
Blake. Yeah. Blake. Which, isn't it? Is his... Does he have 2 first names, or for some reason are they?
I figured this out because the first Blake we meet was Blake. Where is he? Blake Monar, and he's a male grooming specialist. And at first I thought, oh, maybe he's like, I'm a male grooming specialist. My name is Blake. Like, do not just call me Blake. I want my full name at all times. But I think it's because they're 2 guys who can't be Blake M. They can't even be Blake.
Oh, there's two
Mo.
Blake M's. Oh,
So I
there
think
you go.
it's
Yes.
I think it's Blake Monar. I had a thing in my elementary school where there was another Jason R, and so we had to go by Jason Ritt and Jason Rapp. And I was always so jealous because I thought rap was so much cooler than.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened. I don't think that both the Blakes are just
no.
like,
That
full
makes
name,
sense. There's
please.
two Blake M's, so they have to go full names. They insisted. I went like, how are people going to find me on Instagram if they don't know my full name?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
So yeah, he comes out, but like going back to Dale's entrance, having been the Bachelor, you watch it.
Yes, you have.
And there just seemed to be a level of comfort between the two. She was like, come here. Now, granted, listen, obviously they are not showing everything. There is editing.
Right.
So, so we didn't get to even see all these conversations. These guys will talk to Claire for 2 minutes a pop. We get to see 15 seconds. So who knows?
Yeah.
But
there
seemed to be a level of comfort.
On the other side, though, if you were really trying to like keep it cool and keep it under wraps and be like, I chose this guy, but I'm gonna pretend everyone. Would you really be like, I think I just met my husband?
I don't think,
like that.
Listen,
then unless it's, I don't know. Who knows? It's like,
listen, Claire is a wonderful person. She has a lot of great, as all humans do. She has strengths and weaknesses.
Of course.
She doesn't have a poker face,
Okay,
and she's
so maybe
not exactly chill.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yes,
So,
okay.
But like little things. After Dale walked in, she says, "I knew it."
I knew it. Oh wow.
She knew what. Now it's entirely possible. Again, she certainly had access to these guys. So like, if I were Claire, of course I would stalk their Instagrams.
How could you not?
She did all this,
Yeah.
right? So like, it could be solely based off of like, she just loved his social profile.
Yeah. Yes.
And maybe got obsessed over Dale from, that's impossible, but it seemed a little strong.
Yeah.
And her argument is, I'm 39, I know what I want.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, sure, but I don't know how you are, but as I've gotten older, yeah, I know what I want more. Mm-hmm. But as a result of having, say, being more fine-tuned to what I like, it actually takes me a little longer to qualify my love interest, because
you're not just like, that is what I like.
When I was 18, I
Right.
would be like, I love you.
Yes.
Immediately, solely based off of things like Instagram and your face.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
But as I've gotten older, I've become a little bit more grounded. Yes, I know what I want more.
But you also wait to see if any red
Just
flags
like,
emerge, and you gotta
red flag.
suss them out, and you're not.
She's
just
like, nope. That's it. I found my husband. I can't believe it. I
think
knew it.
That's true.
So
it's also why we love Claire. She follows her heart. She wears her heart on her sleeve. But it is.
For the record, as someone who talked to Caitlyn before I came on Caitlyn's season and talked to Jen before Paradise, I don't care if she talked to Dale. I have no problem. Certainly, an argument can be made that as the role of the Bachelorette, you are accepting a job. She's there to find love, but she does have a role to play. She is kind of bailing on the second part by just being like, fuck it, I'm here for love, man. I don't.
Exactly.
And Claire is nothing if not earnest.
That's true. But on the other hand, I hope that it doesn't stop her from, if there's another guy that's better for her, that she is not just so kind of blinded by the one person that no one else can emerge as a front runner.
It seems like
something happened.
It seems like it has, because I got to be honest. Unfortunately for Claire, after Dale came out, it almost, when you're watching, it's like, oh, they saved Dale for last.
Yeah, he got like the nice piano music.
And Chris comes out. He's like, well, no, you got more people. I know you found your husband, but like, we got to get through this.
Yeah.
And every conversation she had after that just felt like a lie. I spent over $2,000 on massages last year in 2019. I did.
From what was her name?
Doesn't matter. The important thing is that I get 10 times the amount of massages now for less than 10% of that price. And I'm talking about Theragun, because I rub my body all day, every day with Theragun. No longer do I have to go, can you please rub me here? Just a little bit longer. Can you just squeeze like this right here, please? How many times, my entire life, not my entire life, 10% of my life. I used to, when I, also for the guys out there, for our 10%ers, I don't know how many times I was dating someone. They're like, can you rub me? And like when I was younger, it was like, I'm going to be honest.
Sure.
I had to give him a massage, because if I didn't, I might not get sexy time. So Theragun, it's super easy. It feels great. And I don't know, maybe you'll get laid. Who knows? It's incredible. I can't say enough about Theragun. So I don't know. Yeah. It's got speed. It's power. Maybe you can even, I don't know if I'd use it during sex, but I don't know. Who knows? Anything's possible with Theragun.
I mean, it vibrates, honey.
Their all new Gen 4 Theragun has a proprietary brushless motor that is so quiet you will wonder if it's even on, while you soothe your aching muscles with Theragun signature power, amplitude, and effectiveness. Try it risk-free for 30 days. There is no substitute for the Theragun Gen 4 with the OLED screen, personalized Theragun app, and the quiet and power you need. Starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/VIALL right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/VIALL. Theragun.com/VIALL.
Yeah, it's true. Although that moment with Blake,
Like less
seemed
effort.
sort of, yeah. I would agree with that. It seemed
Well,
like,
because she when Chris is like, "Will you have more guys?" She's like, "Oh."
yeah, it is true that even like when they were talking, her body language with Dale was like, you know, she like was so sort of leaning forward and into it.
And that's where Claire, like the Bachelorette. And when I say Bachelorette, not like the human Claire who's there looking for love. And,
yeah.
And I really believe that everyone who gets casted for the lead is sincerely looking for love.
Yeah, I agree with
the
that.
pressure, they really want to find it, but they also understand the role of the Bachelor, the Bachelorette. It's just like, well, I'm going to have to go on group dates, because like no one wants to do that,
Right. Exactly.
you know, but you do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so Claire, being Claire, is just like, no, I'm here for love.
Right,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
one job, and that's finding love, and fuck everything else.
That's true. That's true. And that's gotta. I mean, you see that like later in the season that a lot of the guys seem to get pretty mad, and I would understand, because
Yeah.
it's that, you know, it's like they didn't even get a chance necessarily if she's kind of part of her has made up her mind ahead of time.
That is the hard part. You go back to like referencing Juan Pablo.
Oh yeah.
For the criticism he got, right? And it's different with a predominantly women audience.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a guy being short and kind of, hey, whatever, you can go. You
Yeah.
know? It's a more dickish
Yeah.
than a woman who's just like, oh, you know, good for her. She knows what she wants, you know?
Yeah.
And so it
That's true.
reads a little differently. But yeah, Juan Pablo was just like, I don't know. There's 30 of you here. I can't possibly like you all.
For the record, I didn't go through that season like he is the worst, because I also didn't have any frame of reference for
Yeah.
it. So I just was like, oh, these are the rules of the show, and he's just following the rules, and it's, you know. So anyway, I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I
You're
don't
not
know if we would be
anti-Juan.
like
Yeah.
super like close friends, but you know, I'm not like out there with a picket sign against Juan Pablo.
You seem like you have an objective,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because clearly your favorite would be Nick.
Yes, my favorite is
Yeah,
Nick.
sure.
Yes. That is true.
No, but
Nick is one. You're one of my favorites.
well, thanks.
Yeah,
buddy.
enjoy.
So yeah, any
yeah.
other guys? So then we have
Oh, I liked Ben a lot. The
which one's Ben?
Army Ranger veteran. He's the guy who was meditating.
Really, you liked Ben a lot.
I like Ben. Yeah, there was something about him that I just felt like he seemed. We haven't known him a lot. I guess I just want to get to know him a
Sure.
little bit
Well, I
more.
mean, I thought it was interesting. I took a different kind of approach when Ben was like, I actually like being alone and inside. And I thought it was super interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this could be really...
I think that's because I also like it, being alone. So-
I do too, but it was like, it was more just the way it reads on the show.
It is true.
It's
yeah.
more, Yeah, it was. I was like, oh wow.
And there was something else about the way that he like hit the thing and it said "kiss me," and he just kind of was like, "Oh, it says kiss me." And he let
was
it go.
very charming.
Yeah, he just was like, "I'm not gonna try to."
That was the same guy. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
According to my notes.
According to my notes.
But yeah, so I liked him a lot. I liked you know, when the guy came up with the knight in the shining armor thing, I was like, oh no, what is this? But I liked that the thing was not, I'm your knight in shining armor. I liked that it was about vulnerability and like taking an armor off. It was sad that they had to clean it up after him. And I've always wondered that, like, where the horse goes and where the fancy weird cars go. And
I mean, as the show goes, there's more gaps in idle time than is shown on the show. You know, exactly. Like, you know, Claire's just standing there for 10 minutes while they clean it up, and then, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
As Chris mentioned when he recapped the guy, I had a buddy, more of an acquaintance. I got on the show. I mean, by got on the show, he was like, he's a buddy, Robbie, who was essentially edited out of this episode. He went home night one, so it shows how much influence I was actually shocked. Behind the scenes. So because I was like, he's a nice guy, you know, I hung out with a few times, and good look, handsome guy.
Super, yeah.
And I was like, I think he could do well, you know? So like, I didn't have much involvement other than saying, you know, with some of the producers I know, like, hey, check out this guy. I actually think he could do well from what I know about him.
Yeah.
And I really didn't think he'd go home night one. So he like went home night one and he turned his phone back on and was like, what happened? He didn't talk to Claire at all. He was one of the many guys. We now know that Claire didn't talk to like 10 guys. And he didn't really know. But I went to the other side. I'm like, what fucking happened, man? Yeah. And for all the people who they think it's all staged, they're like, so what happened is and they didn't air this. He apparently told some sort of joke.
Oh, no.
When he got out of the limo. And they didn't air this. But what they aired to his, you know, was like a sincere, like, I'm really looking forward to get to know you. That was his only airtime. And apparently he told it, what I heard was an incredibly funny joke, which was like something about like, you know, these guys coming out of the limo, they're just kind of teasing some of the other guys, playful, like competition fun. And Claire, being the earnest person, was like, after he walked in, was like, how dare he talk negative about the other men? Oh. And she was done with him. It didn't matter. She was like, I don't want to talk to him. He's gone. And they were like,
okay.
Okay. And she sent his ass packing.
There's got to be a lot of things like that because there are a bunch of people that get sent. Every season, there's a bunch of people get sent home the first night that you're like, but what?
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing, too. It's just like someone kind of, from my season, Angela, and I've talked about it on my Patreon, where I ended up regretting it. She's a beautiful woman, nice girl, but like there was a combination of her saying something that kind of was like, that's weird. And totally unfair judgment on my part.
But you don't have that much to go on.
I don't have that much time. Plus, like, you know, the producers, she didn't do anything for them. She ended up back on Paradise. They clearly got it wrong from a casting fan, and I got it wrong. But stuff like that happens, and Claire was just like, he's got to go. He made they're like, it was a really funny joke, you know. It was like, and most people would be like, I mean, I had Taylor come out and say that she thought I was an asshole, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
well,
right, that's right.
Yeah, whatever. But like Claire being Claire, just like nope,
absolutely
no,
not.
You are gone, sir.
I mean, I guess like, you know, when I think probably I'm not the only one who does this, but as a audience member, I constantly, you like put yourself in the mindset of the Bachelor or the Bachelorette or every single contestant. You're like, what would I do in this scenario? And the anxiety level that I get when I think about having to be the Bachelor, I would just be like, oh my, everybody go home. If there's anything that like, if someone messes up a little bit or I don't like something, then go home. If, you know, just like, it feels so stressful to like potentially, the longer people are there, the more their feelings are going to get hurt, which is why like
it's the hardest job ever.
I would never, hats off to you guys. That's amazing.
One of my favorites. I have a couple favorites. Ivan
was one of my favorites too.
Really, like, I hope Ivan goes far.
Me too.
I can't even pronounce aeronautical.
He was
aeronautical.
Yeah.
Engineer, clearly fucking smart.
Playing chess with himself.
Chess with himself, who like in a very almost like not arrogant way. He's like, most people can't beat me in chess. I'll play myself. It didn't sound cocky.
Jumping back and forth and back and forth and back and
He's
forth.
just like, I wish it was almost like a plea for like, I would like to like have someone beat me once in a while.
Yeah.
So like,
I know. It's amazing. I also I've played chess with myself, and I always am like, it's unfair because I'm always like, here's the real me, and here's like slightly dumber me who's like, should I put my pawn? And I'm like, you fell into my trap. But I bet that he, I bet that he like really plays with himself. Like really plays with himself. That sounds bad, but I think that he really like takes it seriously. I think he seemed like one of those chess people who's like, oh wow,
what would be
good move, Ivan. I'm gonna really try to beat myself.
What would be the most authentic way to do that? To move your guy, take a break for a while, and come back.
Yeah, I guess
to
so.
kind of like not
it's hard,
know.
It's hard to take your strategy that you just
like that's what I'm saying. You leave, you come back, and then look at the board
and try to make a decision
from the. I don't know.
I don't know, but I loved Ivan, and I thought he was maybe going home for a second. And when she gave him the rose, I was like,
he's got a quiet confidence. He seems like a really nice guy.
Super nice.
Talked about his mom. Great.
Yeah. I got good vibes. I
like that.
I like Joe too. And that's the.
Joe, anesthesiologist.
Yes, anesthesiologist.
He had all the hard names.
You liked him? He wasn't my favorite.
I just thought he was. Well, here's the thing.
The doctor jokes.
It's
like, okay, true. We get it. You're a doctor.
I was
doctor jokes.
For some reason.
Also, he laughed at his own joke. If you're going to tell a joke, let it breathe for a second. Give the person receiving said joke a chance to laugh before you laugh at it.
That's true. However,
Bob Saget.
I am a bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, America's Funniest Home Videos.
You laugh at your own jokes
all the time.
Well, Bob Saget does that thing where he's talking and his voice just like he's like trying not to laugh and his voice sounds. I laugh. I can laugh at my own jokes, not at my own jokes, but I laugh when I laugh too much.
The Rock laughs at his own jokes all the time, and he just broke 200 million followers. So who am I to criticize The Rock?
I don't know. For some reason I was charmed by the origami stuff. Okay. I was big into origami as a kid, so I was just like, that is super impressive. If you like don't know origami as well, like that, unless he got someone to do it.
No, I very much doubt it.
This is the best ever. This is the best recap ever. I can't. The two of you with the notes. Yeah, Jason with the notebook on his lap. It's amazing.
We have
Bear Crawley with little hearts around.
I really like Brendan. There's Brandon and then there's Brendan.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Both very handsome. Brandon kind of almost had like a money shot. Like usually you don't get a straight up shot. I would have liked a straight up shot. You get a side profile, and unfortunately at the mansion, it's the dark side of my moon. That side I don't like it. The shot for Brandon was different. It was like it was a hero shot.
It was, yeah, I remember that.
And he's a great looking guy. But what I liked about Brandon, he also seems kind of nerdy and awkward.
Yeah, that's always my favorite. I always look for the people who kind of like trip over themselves, or like the people who have the line and deliver it perfectly. I'm always like,
yeah. So Brandon, 28, real estate from Cleveland, great looking, but I think there's a hint of awkwardness I like. And then Brendan, 30, he's a commercial roofer. That's the hardest fucking job in the world.
That is tough.
No, for real.
And he's got these nice eyes, and he comes across as like soft and demure. And I say that in a positive way because the juxtaposition of a guy who's like roofing in the summer sun, who also looks like he's like really like emotionally in touch with his feelings.
Yeah.
I kind of like.
I like that combo.
I like that. So I'm rooting for. I like Brendan.
I like Brendan too.
God, I want a whole scene between Claire. Is it Brandon or Brendan? Like,
well, it's even harder because both of the vowels are different. So there's Brandon and then Brendan. So it's like
that'd be my nightmare.
Yeah. So Brendan. You know who else I liked, and this. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I liked AJ, the software salesman who squeezed her hands too hard.
So did I.
And I think one of the things that I am proud of AJ for is that he leads with like, look, I've been told by many friends,
my friends,
that I make a terrible first impression.
I loved that line,
and then he did.
He delivered on said expectation. I'm a man of my words.
Exactly. And he also, I appreciate that honesty, and I feel like that's someone who's looking to like learn and better himself. And when he sees this episode, he'll go, "Oh, no one's told me that I squeezed hands a little too hard," and he'll fix that, and then he'll be wonderful.
I really liked AJ. Yeah. And he's not as traditionally handsome as the other guys, but he's a tall, good-looking guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he also has friends.
He also has friends who
like,
are honest friends who are
him.
like, "Hey, just."
And he can own I trust a person who because he's choosing to have the friends that are honest with him.
Yes, exactly. Not the yes men who are like, "You're so great."
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
and
like,
they're still friends.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you meet a friend, they're like, "Hey, listen, you make a bad first impression." I'm like, "Well, fuck you. I don't want to hang out with you at all."
I want people who make me feel wonderful at all times.
So AJ is someone I would trust.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Lead with your, moment. Like we all, like you said, we all have strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes I get a little bit wary of people who are like, "These are all my strengths and that's it," and I'm kind of a perfect person. I'm like, I don't believe you. Yeah. So if you're like, "Hey, this is where I mess up and this is what I'm working on," then I'm like, okay.
Led with a weakness. I really liked it. I'm a little worried. Did he go home night one?
Did he? He may have. I can't remember.
He might have.
I think he might have, but
which is disappointing.
But he learned a valuable lesson.
He did, and
he won the hearts of men and women across America.
Yeah,
who didn't have to have their hands.
How do we feel about? So then there are some guys who, got a lot of airtime. Yosef and then Tyler C.
Oh yeah, that was
Tyler C. Really kind of evened it out for the Tyler C's of the world.
Yeah, for real.
So you got Tyler C. Legendary cast member for Hannah Brown season.
Time traveler from the 1920s.
Yeah. And then now we have this Tyler C. who, handsome.
Yeah.
Kind of the lawyer, very, very, West Virginia accent. You being the diehard Bachelor fan that you are, unfortunately for him, he reminded me of James Taylor from JoJo season.
Oh, right.
Which is a giant red flag.
Yeah. Especially, you hate that guy.
Well, he's just not he's a terrible human at his core.
Human being, yes.
He's a rotten soul.
Oh, wow.
And I'm being nice.
I know you are.
Wow, I'm going to have to ask you some questions afterwards.
I pick on little things. He said to Claire, "I'm here to be authentic."
Yes, yeah. It's like when people say,
which to me,
honestly, you're like, well, what was it going to be?
Can I be honest with you for the first time ever in my life?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm here to be authentic, not I am authentic. Or as AJ showed us, you can just be authentic by being honest and showing who you are by saying, "I give bad first impressions and I wish that I didn't, but my friends told me I am."
Yeah.
Tyler
AJ's like a Bachelor in Paradise nominee.
Taylor wants you to see. He wants to tell you how great he is or what he intends to do by being. I'm here to be authentic and honest. By the way, I'm about to rat on some guy an hour from now.
Right. I mean, see, these are some of the life lessons that I've learned from the Bachelor. Is that I don't know what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the producers being like, "Hey, you should maybe go to rat him out," or what. I don't know what happens with that, but I will say that it almost never works out for the people who go at each other.
Never.
If people are focused on the person that they're there for and let the other stuff go, But I also understand that it may have been hard for Tyler to know this about this person and keep it under wraps. If you know something, if a person is bad, it's really hard. Like when your friend is dating someone that you don't like, and you're like,
yeah.
Well, you try to give them little warnings, but I don't know.
A couple things on this. this is the classic. First of all, Tyler C is not lying because Yosef's guilty as fuck.
For sure.
I mean, he totally did it. However, so did every other one of these guys.
Probably, yeah.
They just didn't live in the same small town as Tyler C. You know,
Right.
like these guys were quarantined for 3 months. Again, they have no idea if the show's even going to be filmed. There's a pandemic going on.
Or if they're going to get sent home the first night.
Or get recasted.
Right.
Right? So, like, was Yosef talking to another girl? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. What he is now is a liar.
That's the problem.
He you can tell he's not honest. He gave us his best version of he totally Mike Penced it. He got asked a direct question, and he's like, well, let me tell you.
I'm going to answer that, but before I answer that, I'm going to talk about I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing about having a daughter, that's one of my pet peeves, like, just in general, is, like, the hiding behind the daughter for then I can't be a bad person because I have a child, a daughter, or I can't treat women badly because I have a daughter. Like, people have families, and then it turns out that they murdered people 20 years ago. Like, it doesn't mean that you're a good person because you have a daughter. Like, hopefully, being a human being makes you have empathy before you have a child, before you're like, oh, women are actually people too. I guess I never thought about that. So that sort of bugged me that he, instead of saying, that person, but now I'm here and I'm...
In fairness to Yusuf, he clearly he's put on the spot, and knowing when you never want to be attacked night one, and then you panic, and so it is a hard environment to
for sure
think on your feet. However,
and I'm sure he's a wonderful father, and I'm not trying to say anything.
The right answer would have been, well, yes. Claire, can I be honest with you? Like, I absolutely was talking to this girl. As you know, there was a pandemic. I didn't know if it wasn't like a very real life relatable thing. I didn't know what was going on. I definitely had this correspondence with this girl. I thought she was cute. I didn't even know if I was coming back here.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. There's nothing going on with this girl.
Right. Yeah.
And when the show picked back up and I was asked to come, I was as single as I could possibly be, with as much of excitement then as I am now to meet you, and that's why I'm here. And I don't know if any other guy can relate to that, but I just wanted to be totally honest with you, and you can decide if that's okay. And now he's just like, then Tyler C looks like a real dumbass,
right?
And Yosef looks like everyone in America would be like, yeah, okay, totally.
Well, it's a hard lesson to learn, and I also have learned this lesson is when you're backed into a corner, it can feel scary to tell the truth, but if you don't tell the truth, it makes it so much worse down the line and in the moment and everything. Like, it's so much better to, again, like, just admit it ahead of time. And, again, I'm like, I've had to learn this lesson myself, and I feel, I've every time I've been like, well, maybe if I don't tell the whole truth, it'll be less painful for the person, right? It's just like never works out.
Because you're right. I mean, I don't judge Yosef. Is Yosef, right? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yosef.
Yeah.
In that world, yes. I don't want to call him a liar as a human, because he might have avoided the question in that environment.
He's on TV. He's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be this guy.
Interestingly enough, with this new format, he does. It's probably a safe bet that they're not going to bring any girlfriends or exes as they have in previous seasons at the risk of having to test them. Like, it just seems like an unnecessary risk from production. I don't know if that is the case, but it would seem like no one's showing up to be like, we're dating.
That's true. That's true.
But there's other ways they could go about it if that does happen. Screenshots,
Boy, that's exciting when that happens. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so. Hey, we've been dating this whole time.
One of my favorite lines too, when Tyler C and Yosef are having this debate, and one of the guys, I don't remember who it was like, this isn't high school. And I literally audibly said out loud, yeah, but it's the Bachelorette. You know, like
Yeah.
the Bachelorette is high school. I don't know if anyone told you that, but like you're going back to high school, bro.
Yeah, there's gonna be cliques. There's gonna be
Yeah.
for sure.
Any other standouts for you?
Let me think. I liked Easy. And
Easy.
You know what I liked about him? I liked that he had like that big thing where he like popped out and then he was like, I got nervous. Like I like that he admitted that later.
Yeah.
He was like, I kind of lost my
big energy. He's clearly outspoken, so we're going to see a lot of Easy, certainly early on. I mean, just to tease him a little bit, apparently if you like snacking, you're not there for love. He was like, why does everyone have food? Personally, I don't think that's what it does. That's not husband material. I'm like, what? Where do you make that correlation?
That's my favorite thing is why someone is not husband material or not. He brought moon pies, so he can't be. He's no good for marriage.
You're thinking about food? We're here for love.
Exactly. We're not supposed to eat this entire time.
But I feel like Easy, and from a TV standpoint, he will easily, no pun intended, give his thoughts and opinions on a variety of things going on. So he might be the narrator of our season.
Yes, which I'm excited about. I always love the person who's like, I'm watching it with you guys, but I'm also in the show. But like, we don't like this guy, right?
Did we like Bennett? His, he's clearly leading into the pretentiousness and the caricature of being a Harvard grad.
He mentioned. It was like almost like a meta thing. If like the thing of Harvard people is that they mention it within the first 2 minutes, he was like, he mentioning Harvard, which is I can't. I have to admit with Bennett, I have to give him the benefit of the doubt, the Bennett fit of the doubt, because I'm so sorry, because I feel my own prejudices coming up with him, where like. I don't know him. Obviously I don't know him at all, but like the kind of like fancy pants element, like I have an immediate kind of distrust for people who carry themselves a certain way. And it's not fair. It's like my own thing where like, I kind of felt like I have a thing where I see one of those people who kind of talks about their education in a certain way. And I'm like, you think I'm dumb and you think I'm, and it's not, it may not be true. I'm just like, it's all my own insecurities coming out.
Yeah. He comes off judging
on this person. Yeah. And he could be totally nice.
The question is how much it's funny that Tyler, you had the Tyler C followed by Bennett classic, contrast on the show. And then always the question is, which, if any of these guys, doesn't take themselves seriously? Did Tyler C take his Clark Griswold, does he really think he's so humble? The person who's like, I'm just grateful to be here. And it's like they take their gratefulness so serious. Or does Bennett
is the pulling up in the Rolls Royce this, I think this is sincerely impressive, or is it like
this is douchey and stupid, but it's a joke, and I'm going to lead into it, which is funny.
Which is funny, yeah. Like I'm the.
That's the big question, and
I'm waiting to see.
I'm waiting to see. I feel like he certainly has a chance to be a villain, Bennett, because he's tall, he's handsome, he looks like the type of person you want to punch in their face.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I keep on fighting against it because I'm like, he does seem like like he's about to tell you why he's keeping you in this cage.
I mean, he's the fucking Social Network, the twins guy.
Winklevoss.
He's a Winklevoss.
Yeah.
He's 100% a Winklevoss.
Yes, exactly.
But I want to what I hope for Bennett is that I hope he's a bit of a villain, but a villain you kind of like a Corinne on my season, where early returns are, they suck, and then after a while you're like, actually this person's making me laugh, and thank God they're here because they're mixing it up, and
for sure,
they get it.
Yeah, exactly. I like Corinne.
Ben's from Venice, California. The Army Ranger, the guy you like.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't run into Ben since I was when I lived in Venice. And we have Blake who here's my
which Blake?
Oh, I'm sorry, Blake Moynes.
Thank you. Okay, yeah.
The guy who broke the rules.
Yeah, and got a kiss.
Prediction for Blake: Blake is going to be a sacrificial lamb because he broke the rules, and then he was told by Claire, "Thank you,
yes,
thank you for doing that."
Yeah.
You got a kiss. Blake left that interaction being like, "I fucking got this."
Yeah, you saw his face in the rose
He
ceremony.
lit up. She needs me. I'm there for her.
Yeah.
And while she's falling in love with Dale, my prediction is they're going expect Blake to get an early date.
Yeah.
And fall in love with Claire, only for him to be so crushed when he realized that she's just pot committed for Dale.
Oh, Blake.
That's my prediction. That's what I would do if I were producing that show.
Yeah. Yeah, he really does seem to have a very sweet, open heart.
Yeah, and he kind of lit up.
Perfect for being crushed on The Bachelor.
You love oh my gosh, you're calling me. Why are you doing this to me? And you great. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I already saw the pain in his not little sweetheart, but
he's a big burly guy.
Yeah, his regular sized human heart. When she came over after that with the first impression rose, and he was like, and then she was like, she gave it to Dale, right?
She gave it to Dale.
Yeah.
Which
Which I know that's I don't know. It's so interesting. You know what I've noticed that, also in a lot of my seasons is that the person gives the first impression rose almost always either to the person that they end up with or the villain.
The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette, yeah.
And I mean I've told this story before as someone who kind of just understood how the show worked. My favorite was never going to get the first impression rose.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to Rachel, who was someone I really connected with. And I was just and I didn't, I knew Rachel and Vanessa would go far night one. And I just knew that Vanessa was someone I was Vanessa was my Dale.
Right.
Unlike Claire, I was I still don't know anything about her, but I was definitely she's going to have to really suck. So she's gonna have to do something for her not to be top four.
Yeah,
that was my thought night one.
Yeah. Rachel was a good choice for that impression rose.
But the Bachelorette seems to really give it to their favorite.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the Bachelor,
But I mean, I think sometimes the villain gets the rose not because they're oh, I'm gonna do this as a move, but because that they have there's some kind of thing that they're responding to that it may be negative,
it's
it may be
sexy.
Yeah, there's something.
Sexy,
Bachelor,
passionate.
Both. Sometimes it's the person that you're oh, I can't remember. I can't think of any good examples right now.
No, I mean it's happened to it happened. It hasn't happened in a while, but Ben's season happened to Olivia.
Oh right, see that or
I mean oftentimes your villain comes from someone who gets an early it happened to me on Andy's season.
Oh right.
It's someone who gets early validation.
Yes, yeah.
Right? That in Andy's season was different because there really wasn't a villain.
No, yeah.
And so then I just became the villain. I mean, you know what I mean? The Chad Johnsons of the world.
That's what
the
I'm
guys
talking about,
the Luke Pell, the guys who who did actual shit, who kept that that theme going. But usually it's someone who gets early, the villain if they get early validation.
Yeah.
And then the lead quickly was I don't know if I'm as into him as I thought I was. Then they easily become the villain because they think they have all this attention, and then they just it kind of goes south.
I for the record, I was staunchly on your side all of Andy's season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought you handled yourself very well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got a bad shake.
I've been on your side throughout any of the
I recently watched for the first time in 7 years night 1 of Andy's season yesterday because I'm doing this other like Patreon thing where I recap some old alumni at Markel. If I don't know if you remember. Coming in November. Plug. And it was bizarre. I don't think I've ever had more anxiety watching anything back than watching that.
That's so crazy. It's like the beginning of your
and
journey
it's probably
it was really
because of your hair.
That was a big reason why.
Yeah.
The anomaly is that I spent so much time on it back then, and it looked like I didn't give a shit about my appearance. So I don't know. And now, like, I woke up and I came in. I mean, it's shorter now, but like, I just used different product. I guess I don't know what I was doing. Got a haircut, tighten up the sides a little bit.
I can't talk. I have like a full mullet going on right now.
Is that quarantine hair? But
Yeah.
You got a nice mane of hair.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a great head of hair. Yeah.
It's too long. It's really
So good.
It's. I mean, I hate getting haircuts. I've always had some issues with hair. I just can't figure it out. I wear a lot. That's why I wear a lot of hats.
Okay. Well,
But yeah.
it's,
You have a little bad experience as a kid with a haircut, and you go, I'm not gonna, don't touch it. Just let me do it.
okay.
Most of our guests lately seem to just let it go. So we're into
it's
it.
fun. It's kind of like
Quarantine really
what
gave you a
happens.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
My freedom was just to like cut it.
Yeah.
I really been in like it's.
Yeah, you shaved it.
Yeah, it was. I'm gonna start letting it grow again, but because it's just I don't have to do anything.
No, that's the super nice part. Yeah, I used to. My general thing is just let it grow until it's horrible, and then I just shave it all the way down too. It's fun.
You're just jealous of Richard Marx's curls.
Oh my god, he was on there. He's on our podcast tomorrow. We recorded yesterday.
Oh no way!
Unbelievable.
Oh
hair.
really? Oh my gosh!
Unbelievable. Speaking of hair, Kenny, the boy band manager.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest. I do want to know more about Kenny.
Yeah.
What is a boy band manager?
Yeah.
I thought that market was over. I
Yeah.
thought that was more.
Oh come on! You know what a boy band manager is.
No, yeah, but I guess what is
But
it?
like
What is it now? You know, Lou Pearlman.
Okay.
Is he? Do you have to be a criminal?
No.
I mean, I guess it's impressive to like be like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna like. I mean, what do you do? How involved are you? Do you like get them into the studio and are like, let's work on the choreography and like, here's the songs, and I'll get you a songwriter, and you put it all together, or are you just like, hey, I got you a gig. You guys are already doing this. I never know how boy bands. They don't just like come out. It's not just like 4 dudes in a garage like, hey, like let's like figure this out. You know, they're like created. They're
I have a lot of questions
they find,
for
the
Kenny.
different people. They find the different people. They put them together. They manage them. They put their career together. The managers do like all the like business stuff.
But so do they like put out like in the newspapers like, we're looking for the cute one, or like we're looking for the sporty one, or like how do you find them in the first place?
I
You
don't
need
know.
to be singing.
I want to ask Kenny these questions.
Yeah, I'm
I
very
do.
curious.
In the upcoming teaser, Kenny really embraces at least the stereotype of the boy. He's wearing shirts that are unbuttoned to his belly button.
Yeah.
That's an aggressive V.
I mean, I also think though, like, and it's the same with Paige, the chef, last night. If you have a giant tattoo on your chest, it's hard. Like you're like, oh, it's right there. I'm just gonna undo a bunch of buttons.
I mean, because a big tattoo on your chest, that's
you want people.
it's expensive. It's art.
Yeah, exactly. So you're
It's
like,
hot.
how do I?
For some women, super hot.
For sure.
It's probably gotten you some sex over the years, and I guess on a dating show you want to.
And you can't be like, hey,
it's hot.
just so you know, like if this goes further, I have a big cool tattoo here. You have to, you have to show. You're like, but I have to go 5 buttons down to be able to show.
And
you
Kenny does have what seems to be a big tattoo
yeah.
on his left breast.
Here's my big mystery of the night, and I'm not sure if it's Kenny, because Kenny seems like he gets angry at a certain point in the.
It makes it seem like he's the one who says
older, Bachelorette?
The older Bachelorette.
I rewound it so many times I couldn't figure out who.
And also, like, there's a shadow. You hear a voice that could be
a different
person.
video,
you don't know. I'll be honest. This might be unfair to Kenny. He looks like the type of guy who would say.
But he's 39, so I wonder.
That doesn't mean he has self-awareness.
That's true.
You know.
It doesn't mean he doesn't want somebody who's 24.
Yeah. But I cannot wait till we find out who said that to Claire.
It's not gonna go well for him.
It's not gonna go well for him. We're all like primed against that person.
Who was the guy? The biggest lie ever told on night one was the gentleman who claimed that Claire has such a calming presence. Now, Claire has some wonderful attributes. Loyal, passionate, honest, authentically herself.
Yeah.
Not calming, though. She is not. She is at every moment during last night's episode. She looks like and again, she's been through a lot. It's a very stressful atmosphere. I'm not criticizing, but she is not necessarily calming.
Well, I'll say this, because this is one of the things that I kept on thinking about. There's a lot of like hormones and a lot of like things going on with people. In every season of The Bachelorette. In this one, everyone's been like alone and isolated.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so the first hug you have, I still haven't had a hug. I mean, I have at home. But like, you know, I imagine that like for however many months, there's been like a slingshot, like getting further and further back. And so someone just holding your hands, you know, could seem calming, even if.
Which would explain maybe AJ's a little slight aggressiveness with the hands. He's just like, oh my God, somebody.
A person. I want to feel the bones crack. I hate people who like really squeeze your hand.
Yeah,
so
the
aggressive
handshake.
Yeah, it's just such a bummer always. And so the fact that I love AJ the fact that it was just pure nervousness. It wasn't like a weird. Yeah,
I don't think that was an aggro. You know, and it always comes in my experience. I'm a bit taller. It's always come from men who are distinctly shorter than me. If it does happen.
Yeah.
Never comes from someone. It's just like, I get it. You know, like
you win, dude.
Yeah.
You're cool.
Your height is not a reflection of your strength. I understand.
It's just always a bummer.
Any things that before we let you go, Jason?
I appreciated Jason's pregnant.
Jason.
Thing.
Yeah, I like him.
I think he's got a cool name, and but
the only one hotter than Claire is his mom. I love that because like clearly he didn't mean it as weird, and you could tell the fucking editors. I'm sure we're fucking putting that in for the dick, and you know it's obviously he's gonna get shit for it. I'm sure Twitter's gonna have fun with him.
Also, we haven't seen his mom. It could just be like an undeniable he's just like, look, my whole life everyone's been like your mom. It's like a. In the Bill and Ted movies, like they had the stepmom that they
he's
can't.
He's just like I don't, but like I'm just being objective, guy. My mom's a total babe. It's not my bad.
Yeah, you would understand what I'm saying if you had seen her. I liked him.
I was bummed to see Jordan go.
Me too.
Cybersecurity. The guy's like 7 foot.
I know that was
cybersecurity, and apparently not for Claire.
Yeah, I was bummed about that. That was a surprise.
I guess we can just maybe predictions for the rest of the season. We got to see the teaser of the upcoming season, which is obviously always amped up.
Sometimes a little misleading.
But it does seem like Dale is going to go through some accusations.
Yeah.
They really hone that in, so I don't think that can be misleading.
No, that seems...
That usually, if you see someone punch someone, it's like, who knows where that's coming from, or if it's like a group date or like some sort of acting class, like stunt date or something.
Exactly.
But it seems like Dale is going to come under some fire, which is predictable. And if Claire's going to give up or kind of sacrifice all these other relationships by being pot committed to Dale.
Right.
You know, so is it just jealousy? I mean, Dale seems like a really nice guy. As a diehard Packer fan, I liked Dale. I didn't realize it when it first came out, but I remember Dale because Dale was, I think, a 7th round draft pick. As a Packer fan, we really liked the tall, athletic receivers. He had great attributes in terms of he was from South Dakota, so he didn't have a lot of experience. So as a Packer fan, we're like, this guy could be like the find. And he had we caught him. The Minnesota Vikings, I believe, signed him, and he did some impressive things and kind of phased out. But he had some real success in the NFL. He wasn't
cool.
It wasn't like a Colton Underwood practice squad, which is still an impressive feat.
Yeah.
But he had a couple touchdowns.
That's amazing.
He had some real success in the league, and he has an infectious smile, Dale.
He has a great smile.
So I am curious if the accusations that are sent towards Dale are ones of jealousy or.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because, like you were saying before, sometimes the person who gets attention a lot up front gets a target put on their back, and so it cannot be their fault, or maybe he's got a horrible secret.
And then what's great about the season is that it's whenever the show gets done, it's the show as we speak, and it's October 9th, and it's obviously was finished filming, but the show is still going on in a sense. It's still being recorded now more than ever, because at any season, you have, the Bachelorette or Bachelor has their pick, and are they still together or whatever. But now we potentially have 2 Bachelorettes, that we'll find out about the Tayshia, maybe 2 different love stories. But specifically for Clare and Dale, if the rumors are true, if she does leave with Dale.
Oh, is that the rumor?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
Oh, I'm sorry if I spoiled. I don't know if it's true. I don't.
No,
that's the rumor.
I only have heard. I've only slightly delved into the rumor.
So the rumor is either whether Claire either leaves on her own or the show is like, hey.
I heard that it ends.
And they bring in Tayshia, and then how it all plays out, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really don't. And but let's assume that Claire leaves with this Dale guy. Does it work out? I mean, she made this huge risk, right?
Yeah.
In Dale's position, Dale might be like, wait, if you're Dale, and you're like, you think you signed up for X number of weeks.
Right.
And you're just like, wait, you want to just get engaged to me now?
Well, isn't there something that he says in the preview that's like, how I don't know how you can know.
Is that him? We know that's him?
I don't know that it's him. It sounds like it's him, but I'm not.
I honestly
sure.
thought I thought
it
was my boy Blake, who was like pleading with Claire, being like, how do you know you're already in love? I thought we had something special.
I got to do some voice analysis when I get home.
Yeah.
Make sure
But the big question is, I'm going to be committed throughout, because I just want to know.
Yeah.
What did Claire make the right call? Well, how does Dale feel about? I want to hear from Dale.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want some poking and prodding about I want some behind the scenes. Were they really talking? Were they not? I don't care if I don't care in the sense of I do care because I want to know, but I don't care fine if you did.
Right.
I don't want you to lie about it though.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see who comes clean, if they do, and how it all works out. I hope Claire ends up happy. But I also think it's super intense to go from a Bachelor experience into a potential quarantine. Well, I guess they wouldn't quarantine together. You don't move right in after.
Well, they would happy couple. But still, which is quarantined regardless so definitely they would be together. And then Claire's final thoughts as we get the last preview is she'll apologize for a lot of things.
Not for looking
for love. And
nor should she. Unless she did something really bad.
which may, if it was really bad, then you could argue is it really?
Well, then she'd be in jail. I'm talking really bad. Then you should probably apologize.
I mean, arguably potentially dangerous language.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for love, because a lot of people have claimed some shitty behavior under the mask of love.
For sure.
So maybe, Claire, you want to reassess that language. But, okay. Jason, this has been so much fun.
Oh my gosh. So fun.
I feel like we could keep going, and I'm sure I'm sure you are welcome back anytime.
I would love to come back.
Where can people find you? Obviously, you're a very talented, successful actor or producer. You're doing a lot of great things. Anything you want to make us aware of? Where can we follow you? You're a great follow on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Jason Ritter. I'm on Instagram at Jason_Ritter, even though it's weird and I don't post there. It's mostly just signs. I don't, I've been in quarantine. There'll probably be something at some point that I can talk about. There's a new Netflix show called Raising Dion that we're going to start working on the second season, and that was a lot of fun if you're looking for something to binge.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, again, this has been a ton of fun. I'm glad we were able to finally do it. Thanks for listening, guys. Check us out tomorrow for a really fun episode with legendary singer-songwriter Richard Marx and his lovely wife, and also legend Daisy Fuentes. We talk about their dynamic relationship, having fun, second chances, and just love, life, and happiness. And as always, send your questions to asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K, for a really fun episode of Ask Nick with Kelly Oxford. And I think that's it. But don't forget to, obviously, if you're looking for more Bachelor content, and my Patreon has now, I think, 13 or 14 episodes. We got Jen, we got Vanessa, we got all the girls from my season. Amanda Statton talks a lot about her time with Josh Murray, with some movie recaps. The Notebook, 10 Things I Hate About Losing Guy in 10 Days. Excited. Coming up is Mean Girls, as well as Andy's season's recap. So be sure to check that out. It's worth the $5. It's a cup of coffee, and you'll be commercial free and fully entertained. Other than that, we will.
People's Choice.
Oh, and don't forget to vote for the People's Choice.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, thanks,
That's
bud.
so cool.
Vote. I hope you've been voting every day. If you've already been voting, it's so easy to vote again. The hard part was voting the first time, which wasn't even hard. You had to put your email address in there. Now it's just like vote. So, anyways, it would mean a lot, but also it's your award. It's the People's Choice, so it's not even for me. I'm just selflessly having you vote for yourself. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you on Monday. No, tomorrow. Sorry. Fuck.